people, this is the weekend. This is the weekend, week 0. Saturday and Sunday, we have 3 CIAA versus SIAC matchups. And obviously, I'm a CIAA homer. And so, yes, I picked all 3 CIAA schools to win all 3 games. But I have legitimate reasons for why I made the first 2 choices. The last choice, I'm going to be 100% honest, as I usually am. I don't think they're going to win, but I'm picking them just because they're a CIAA team, right? Let's get into the 2 obvious matchups first. First, we have Virginia Union, who won the CIAA last year, unfortunately, versus Kentucky State. Once again, Virginia Union was the CIAA champion, made it to the Division II playoffs. And then we have Kentucky State, who won 3 games last year. And 2 of those wins were against Morehouse and Clark, 2 of the worst teams in Division II last year, right? On top of that, Kentucky State gives up 5 yards a carry. So we have one of the best running backs in all of Division II, Jada Byers, going up against a defense that gives up 5 yards a carry that only won 3 games last year, and 2 of them were once again Morehouse and Clark. Listen, this is going to be a beatdown. You know me, I'm no Virginia Union fan at all. I'm only standing in solidarity with them because it's CIAA versus the SIAC. But just being 100% honest, if Virginia Union does not win this game by multiple touchdowns, it's a disappointment. It's a letdown. It's a huge upset. There's no reason why this game should be close. None at all. I'm taking Virginia Union with the score of 42-14. I'm putting the house on Union, which it sounds weird and disgusting to say, but hey, for this week only. Then we have Virginia State versus Benedict. This is not the Benedict of the last few years. We know their coach has done what Bowie State's coach has done. Has some huge success at a Division II HBCU and move on to a Division I job in the MEAC. Along with him went a lot of Benedict players as well. So Benedict's coach is gone, and a lot of their top players are gone to Division I pastures. The quarterback, I believe, graduated, and some other people transferred out. This is not the same Benedict that we've seen in the past 2 years. Not to mention, even at Benedict's height, they couldn't win the playoff game or even come close. So, but that's a whole other story. We have them versus the team who, honestly, I thought should have won the CIAA last year in Virginia State. But they found a way to choke it away. So they didn't make it. And they didn't make the playoffs. But with that being said, if you look at Virginia State's schedule and who they beat and who they played, they had a Division I win versus Norfolk State. They unfortunately dismantled my Bulldogs at our own homecoming where we needed to win that game. They had an impressive out-of-conference win at the beginning of the season last year as well. This is a very well-coached team that plays hard and plays well. And they had a lot of skilled guys in the secondary, at running back. I'm rolling with Virginia State versus Benedict. They have a brand new head coach once again, a brand new quarterback. All their top players are either at another school or at South Carolina State. Virginia State should win this game. Out of respect for Benedict, I think this is going to be within 4 to 10 points, within that range. So I have Virginia State beating Benedict with a score of, let's see, 27-17. Or it might be 27-20. I'll give Benedict some respect, but it's around that range. Now, here's the last game that I'm not confident at all. And if I had to bet my house, like if it was a gun to my head and said you have to pick a winner or else, honestly, I would pick Tuskegee. I would. If you look at Tuskegee last year, their win-loss record and statistics are heavily skewed by playing two Division I opponents in which they were mollywops. Just being honest. I think what Alabama State they played, and I think it was also Alabama A&M, I think it was. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact they played two SWAC schools last season, and they were demolished. And so that heavily skewed their overall statistics. But outside of that, they were a solid team last year. Solid. Not great, but solid. Versus a Johnson C. Smith, who, listen, Johnson C. Smith was solid last year. Now, at the end of the day, we have to be real. They did not play Bowie. They did not beat Virginia State. They did not beat Virginia Union. So you got to take, they were in the CIAA South. People don't like when I say that, but we got to be honest. I do look at certain win-loss records sideways in the CIAA if you don't play Union, if you don't play State, and you don't play Bowie. I'm sorry. It is what it is. Now, I give Fayetteville State their respect. They're a solid program. They've dominated that division for a while now. So I give them their respect. But, outside of that, come on. The issue of Johnson C. Smith is their offense. I said it before, I'll say it again. Listen, if Johnson C. Smith can score 20 points in this game, I'll count that as a victory. I will. They're playing in the Red Tails Classic, which is basically a home game for Tuskegee, and we saw them in the Florida Beach Bowl. That offense was horrendous. It was terrible. It was bad. If you look at their statistics from last season, their offense was very non-impressive in terms of how many points they actually scored. And their defensive stats were overinflated if you look at who they played. They didn't play any offensive juggernauts like that. So, once again, if I were to be 100% unbiased, I would pick Tuskegee to win a close game. But I'm not being unbiased this week. So, even though I don't think Johnson C. Smith is going to win this game, I'm picking Johnson C. Smith off the strength. Not the strength, the strength. I'm picking Johnson C. Smith off the strength to somehow, some way, win this game. It's the least they could do. You already done let down the conference once last year in the Beach Bowl with that horrible display of offense. The least you could do is redeem yourself this year. And let me tell you something. If the CIAA goes 3-0, I don't want to hear nothing about no SIAC. If we go 2-1, I don't want to hear nothing about it. And we better go at least 2-1. Really, we should go 3-0. Johnson C. Smith is all on you. Prove me wrong. Make me a believer. I'm picking you just because. CIAA. I'm picking you. Also, I like your helmets. The blue helmet with the yellow bull. I like those helmets. I do. The uniform overall is very plain, but hey, I like those helmets. All these brick by brick episodes, you better take some bricks with you out there and throw some at Tuskegee and find a way to win that game. So that's what I got for you. Virginia State over Benedict, 27-17. Virginia Union over Kentucky State, 42-14. and Johnson C. Smith somehow, some way, finds a way to score one more point than Tuskegee, and maybe even cracks 20 points, maybe. I'll take 17 at this point. But since I got to roll with him, I'm going to take Johnson C. Smith, let's say 24-21. Once again, I have no idea how Johnson C. Smith is going to score 24 points. But, I mean, listen, man. CIAA pride, man.